All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host, Noble.
And I'm sitting here with a scarf on because it's ass cold in the middle of summer. Yay for Australia.
Oh, man, that's the truth. I'm just basically sitting here sheltered up because it's going to be bucketing down crazy, and it's gloomy. Ah, good times. Hey, at least it's better than that other extreme. But anyway, we have a heck of an episode, and to join us for this ride, we have none other than Orange Doggo Evira.
Hey, Ruff, ruff. Hope everyone's doing all right. Well, kinda. I mean, my goodness, guys. For our boys in the land down under, it seems like summer is either kind of gloomy or, as Noble was telling me earlier, you got that Arctic blast. Yikes, man. So we're not dealing with that right now. We have our own Arctic blast because in the north it's winter for us, and it was pretty darn cold today, freezing. We're expecting snow tomorrow, so there's that. Anyways, it is almost the second week of 2026 already, a little bit after, and my goodness, it feels like 6 months have already passed. So much has happened in just the first couple of weeks of this year. I can't even. Oh my goodness. So I can't wait to talk about what's been happening recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to do such a thing right now. It's just moving so fast. Like wow. Yeah, I'm getting
Totally.
stuff hit at
Yeah,
me like
it's
left,
bonkers.
right, and center. It's nuts. But without any further ado, and the other companion to join us for this ride today is Drake.
Hello to the old TM Drakes here. Purple Dragon Roar, Tech Dragon doing tech things. And yes, it's been a really fast start of this year. Things are revving up kind of fast. Yeah, we're still a little bit in the winter season until March? Then things start to actually
Late
pick up.
February, March. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, for us. So it's not gloomy, just busy.
Very. At the very least, though, that is something. So you are definitely right in that one. But
All right.
first things first, most. I'm excited to get this episode up and going because this week seems to be the week of furry events. We have not one,
Oh yeah.
not two, but three furry events that have that are happening either as we speak or just happened a day ago. So, before we get on to that, I just want to tell you to forget about all those fur cons that you see that are being hosted and all. Forget about that. And for New England, further confusion, they're not important. But you know what the most important fur con is? The fur con at none other than Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Trump's estate.
That is correct. Hosted by the AHS, or the American Humane Society, for the general welfare and well-being of animals. They were hosting their 15th annual conference and/or event/fundraising party, where they dressed up as 18th century Victorian doggos to celebrate a hero dog. And this pertains to dogs of service in the police and military. So that is what
Wow.
happened. This is a royal gala, or a high-class event of the most prestigious of all the doggos that came to this event and had a grand old time, raising money for the hero doggos.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking at.
Yep, and it is
So
such
cool.
a noble cause, and you're quite right too.
Mhm.
And not only that, but it is aesthetical and thematic in the way that the participants not only did they dress up for the occasion, yes, but they are dressed as if they are indeed dogs.
Oh wow. I'm not
Yeah.
laughing.
So this is when
I'm
I first
impressed.
saw this the other day. I thought this was AI. Literally everybody did. They're like, no, this isn't real. At Mar-a-Lago, like Victorian dresses and outfits and
Yeah.
whatnot in dog masks. No, this ain't real.
Well,
Yes, it is.
the
This is
community
100%
doesn't.
real. And Trump, no,
Yeah.
well, we'll get into this about what he had to say about it. But yes, this is the 15th annual AHS event where they do this. Now, I don't know if they've been doing this specific type of party every year, because this is the first time we're ever hearing about this.
It was the first time I'm hearing them
But
dressed
this
up,
is what they
but
do.
I've heard of Victorian events like that actually quite often. It's very classy for some people.
Oh,
So,
yeah. But
mhm.
as furries. Now, I would not say that they're necessarily furries. I don't think that a lot of the people here are. Some probably are, for sure. And if you're looking at some of the masks that I'm sure this article talks about later, you can tell some of them are fursuit heads and others are like mascot costumes or
like
other types of masks.
Walmart. I saw the dog head I've seen commonly. So I'll see some
Right.
pictures.
A few of those.
Yeah.
Right.
To like
you
add
would
on to the
think,
aesthetic.
you know, like it was either a thing that you got either at Spirit Halloween or whatever have you, or the Walmart starter pack.
Right. But when it comes to the whole idea of the spirit, though, they are in the spirit of
Mhm.
dressing up as classy anthropomorphic animals to celebrate this event here.
That is
Because
very
they're,
awesome.
honoring hero dogs. That's the whole idea behind it. I mean, how
Very
cool is
awesome.
it?
I
This
really
was
think.
not on
Yeah.
my bingo card. Right?
No, of all the places that would have hosted an event like this, I would never have imagined Trump's estate at Mar-a-Lago to host such a thing.
Well, I'm pretty sure he gets the news about the fur cons and the masses too when he watches news feed, because I'm sure it pops up in his morning briefing.
Well, yeah, maybe. But for this though, Trump actually showed up at this event. He stopped by.
Yeah,
And he
so
addressed the crowd briefly. I don't think he actually donated to the American Humane Society, but he did show up and basically boasted about how he invaded Venezuela, which he does tend to do when he goes off on tangents. But he, I wonder what was going through his mind when he saw all these furry-looking people, or not furries per se, but this happening, and he's just like, "Oh my goodness, what is this at Mar-a-Lago going on? It
Oh, yeah.
became
Oh.
Fur-A-Lago. I don't even know what to say."
Oh, it's real, all right. This
Yeah.
is footage right from the scene, right from the event space.
Oh yeah.
Wow, look at this. They're
Wow.
all around the pool and stuff. Oh, they're having a
Yeah.
good time. It's a beautiful place, too.
That's very nice. Yeah. I grew up in Florida, so
How
I've
can people
been
think
up and
this is
down those
real?
places. You've got so much land and luscious green when you're out there. It's perfect for sceneries and things like that. So
So one of these heads, at least, I did clock one of these heads that looked like it was made by a fursuit maker. I think it was the gray and white husky, or like a wolf. I don't know if you guys know that, or sorry if you saw it. Yeah, that guy. Right?
yeah.
That
of all-
looks more
here's
like
the
a
thing.
furry head.
Here is the thing. You're right. I think we've all seen, like, from that little snippet there, they're all heads of the quality of that, mass-produced, commercialized sort of thing. Like I was saying earlier, your Spirit Halloweens and your Walmart starter packs. And that's the thing that we're missing in this party is a fursuit maker grade fursuit head.
See, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I don't know if you would consider that single one that we saw, like in the beginning, as one. I think it does look more professional than the other masks, but maybe you're right. It probably isn't fursuit grade.
And
Like,
there is a couple
I
of
don't know how many
people who
furries
take
were
off
there.
the shelf stuff and they modify that too. They did that with a lot of the raptor
Yeah.
heads. They did it so much that even the company had to release a digital one with all the special effects recently
Right.
this year. That I thought was
Here's
cool.
the thing. You could
That's a good point.
argue that some of the heads here are basically used for theatrical purposes, like either for
Yep.
musical or movie grade thingos, but then just not at the quality and finish of a fursuit maker would do.
Yeah. The ones that I've that are starting off and trying, or the ones that are actually been out there professionally seen that put a lot of attention to detail, also increases their value too.
Well, speaking of detail, I mean, these guys, look at the costumes, well, not costumes, even just the classical period dress that they're wearing, the
Mm-hmm.
gowns,
Oh
the
yeah.
attire, the scarves, everything. So, of course, they're putting detail into this. This is like dozens of people went to this. And
I've
the
been to a
fursuit
few
heads, if you want to call them
masquerade.
that, or masks, rather.
Yeah, I've been to a
Yeah,
few
it's a
masquerade
masquerade,
balls where
animal based.
people do pay a lot of attention to their dress and detail for the period accuracy. And then sometimes I get asked, "Is like, well, what are you gonna wear?" And I says, "I'll just put in my Renaissance garb." I have a entire thing for that set for when I used to do a lot of Renaissance fairs, and now I just throw a fursuit head on it to give myself a name.
Right. So in this
But
case, yeah, it seems like that's almost what they're doing, but not. Noble, what do you think? Like, have you seen the people in these clips and snippets and whatnot that they're not terrible masks, but they're appropriate?
Well,
Would you say I'm right? Or what do you think?
uh, it's a little difficult to say, to be honest. And they look surreal. That's the thing. We're more used to looking
Yeah.
at handmade like masks and like heads and that,
Mhm.
not something that's been mass produced, which a lot of these look like. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe I've seen it can sort of look. Oh, what was it? I think I've seen photos from like the 20s and the 50s of people, and the masks that people were wearing in this sort of remind me of that. Actually, it might have been
Okay,
in
well, I
the
guess they're looking
1800s,
back
but
on history.
I haven't really looked at the
Maybe they're,
different mass-produced
they're
styles.
historically
But
accurate.
yeah, because
it
things that
does.
are unique can sometimes be converted to mass production if you talk to the right group of people. They just require a lot of setting up to do.
I think I have seen a few theater type masks before, and it definitely rings that sort of bell.
Okay.
But it just seems unusual because we're more used, at least I'm more used to seeing handmade sort of attire versus what it looks to be like professional or media grade made masks.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
a very
that's
fair point. And I was thinking
the
the same thing, like
style.
from the perspective or like the lens of us being furries.
Mhm.
We know what proper heads should look like. So seeing something like this, as goofy as it is, and
Well,
they're
I
in the
wouldn't call it
spirit of
proper.
dressing up as androids.
I'd,
Well,
Yeah,
I'd
because
compared
it
to
call it
like
changes over
more.
time.
Well, furry doesn't usually get into theater all that much.
right, it's more well, it's
And
performative, but not theater. I
yeah,
know what you mean. The distinction, yeah.
I mean, there was the whole Cats fiasco when they made the movie.
But that's
Yeah, well, there was
that
that.
basically
But
boils
no,
down to a matter of aesthetics.
Yeah.
Because
right. But in
furries
this
can do
case,
all
though,
sorts.
we
Furries
can.
have done the really goofy, the really cartoony, and then they've also done like ultra
Mhm.
realistic.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
in
I've
this
seen
case,
that too.
we
Some
can clock it.
Japanese
Like we
artists.
know.
Yeah, they
know.
do some really realistic suit heads and things like that.
And see,
some of
here's the
them,
yeah.
some of them look like porcelain masks.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
I
they
see,
got
might
that's
a
be.
kind of the
resin
thing,
head.
That's the difference here. They could be.
Yeah, but hey, on the plus
It's a
side though,
masquerade ball, right?
I mean, would you think it would be considered a better thing if they wore the the Renaissance style masquerade mask where they like cover half the face and just they look like they're a dog?
Oh, you mean like holding up the thing like with a stick with the eyes over,
Yeah,
only
no,
with
Yeah,
the
that would be
muzzle on
horrible.
it? No, that'd be kind of goofy. No, I think what they tried to do, like the idea behind it, was totally fulfilled. I would say, like it was a success in what they were trying to accomplish, because yeah, they were not professionally made, or like I said before, quote unquote proper heads. They're not fursuit made heads. Like they're masks, But at the
yeah,
end of the day, uh, you know, you get the idea behind it, right? So, and it's like some royal gala celebrating their hero dogs, those doggos who served in the military or were police dogs, maybe injured in action or something along those lines.
yeah.
I
So
hate to
that's
say
what
it,
their whole idea is.
it kind of reminds me of B stars.
Oh, really? How so?
Just the aesthetics.
like the 1700s, late 1800s kind of style. I don't think Beastars is in that
If you were
period.
to bring up a couple of screenshots from the ball and a couple of screenshots from Beastars, you'll probably see it.
Right.
Okay.
Considering that,
Oh,
one
interesting.
fancy thing are in Beastars, you've got, them in uniforms, and then I guess. But I suppose I can see where you're coming from, like from a stylistic thing. But realistically, though, I'm just bummed there were no tails and there were no paws.
Yeah,
But
yeah, right.
I'm just bummed.
Wait, were there paws?
No,
There might have been.
they were wearing those the white gloves that you would see, but no,
Okay.
just bummed on that one though. Besides that, though,
Yeah, right. Like they weren't totally there.
here's the thing, though. You've got all sorts of weird reactions to this party, like from people sharing AI memes to saying, "What the heck is going on at Trump's estate? Why is there a furry party? This is no, this is the end."
Yeah,
so
there's been
yeah,
a lot of comments on it.
yeah. So let me show you the a meme that was AI generated here.
I swear to most people,
Yeah.
everything's Ragnarok.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, I would party with that guy.
right. That looks like a good time. What the heck?
Yeah, yeah. It's like
So-
that's definitely
is Trump-
crazy. I know that's a definitely a good meme, but yes, there would be if he invited. There would be a lot of furs around him too. So
This almost looks like a real picture too. Like 10 years ago, people would have believed this. Maybe. The head looks a little weird, but where is Trump's head? Is he a cat? Like, look at the tail there.
Yeah,
Maybe he's a lion.
I would think that they've depicted Trump as a lion.
I'll probably have
Yeah,
to
it
pop
gotta
into
be,
another
right?
stream at 7
I mean,
tonight.
come on. Come on, that's
Look
gotta
at
be
the one
his
in the
persona. It's gotta
dress.
be a lion. Come on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even back in like 2016, 2017, there was like the Trump MAGA party, which was a lion as their mascot. So that was cool. Oh boy. So what have people been saying about this, like on Twitter and stuff, or X?
Oh
'Cause I've
no,
seen some
they've
YouTube
been saying,
videos.
oh no, this is catastrophic. Why is Trump hosting a fur convention at Mar-a-Lago, so on and so on.
Hang on just a sec. Mar-a-Lago is a private institute, isn't it? It's its own
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
company.
it is.
It's like a
Trump's
private
estate.
party. It's a really large
party.
estate too.
Right. So anybody can go there and rent out the hall to host whatever they want,
Yep.
right?
Hey, that should be our future
That's right.
FurCon every year.
So why do people think that Trump has the be-all, end-all final decision? Does everyone
no,
who
no,
goes
he
there
doesn't.
have to turn around and get by Trump's
Yeah.
agreement?
You are right about that because it is another
It's not.
venue.
It's
they
not
could
like
rent
Trump is
out.
hosting it. Yeah, so Trump himself was not hosting the party, but it happened to be happening on his estate, and yeah, that's it. But he
But
did
the
stop
question
by and
I've got
actually
is,
talk to them.
does he have to allow or tell people to fuck off? Is that his responsibility, or
No, it's
does
one of his
some
business-
management
This
team?
is
It's just one of his
if he
business
didn't like
assets,
what
that's
that it
all.
was. If let's say Antifa wanted to host a convention at one of his there, like at one of the places, he would probably not allow that, or maybe I don't know. I'm not sure how Mar-a-Lago really works, but if you wanted to rent it out, you could.
But he'd have a good reason to do that. It's probably the same reason why our area, you talk about Mar-a-Lago, we actually have Trump's International Golf Course literally in my backyard. I can see it from here. But yes,
so
you can rent out
anybody
that
can go there.
place for private events. But at the end of the day, it's not really that him that sees it. It's the people he hires to run the place. They will probably do background checks like they do at cons. And if they find someone shady,
Yeah.
they might pin a note to him. And if he says, oh, no, I don't want to have anything related to Antifa, then definitely they'll probably just give him a nice, sorry, we can't host you type of deal like I get from everyone else. But okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was an extreme example. I mean, I probably went too far there talking about like if Antifa wanted to go to Mar-a-Lago, of course they wouldn't want to. But if there were some some other kind of event that wanted to do that. Like some uh, niche hobby sort of thing, or any kind of conference really that wanted
Yeah.
to do their thing at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, of course, anybody could, in theory, rent it out. And this particular one, the American Humane Society, they wanted to rent out this place for their event, so maybe have a fundraiser, get some people to go. That sounds fun. And then they had this royal gala where a lot of people dressed up to raise money or just have
They've been
fun or
around for a
whatever it is
while.
they
Yeah, that's
plan to
it.
do.
It's not,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
it's
pretty
here's
much
the
it.
thing. And
Yeah.
like just to conclude on this, though, it was completely, thing in good spirit. It's just a good way of having fun. Completely, to be blessed.
Innocent and
So-
for a good cause too.
Yeah.
Indeed.
They've been
compared
around
to
for a
what
while.
compared to the causes that Furcon support, though, the Mar-a-Lago party was truly blessed,
Yes.
I
despite
agree.
all the
Yes,
naysayers
it was.
saying it. So live.
The last question for the whole event is: was this an actual furry con itself, or was
No,
this
it's not a
just
fur
something?
con.
No.
It
was-
was again,
No.
like we said, hosted by the AHA, AHS, the American Humane Society.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, it was hosted by them, and they just made it into a masquerade ball,
Yeah.
and that's not uncommon.
Pretty
Actually,
much,
I've been to a few events that way
Yeah.
as a furry. Got invited.
Oh no,
and it was
no.
just in theme. It was
Mhm.
it was a masquerade ball in theme of the olden times, and their theme was, of course, their hero dogs, and that's why they all dressed with animal masks pertaining to dogs.
Which
Makes
is-
sense for the theme. I think they did a good job.
Which is
and it was
cool. Which
successful.
is awesome.
All
too, I
right.
think.
It's so
So
cool, right?
live comment from her shackle. Would these furries be the suspiciously wealthy furries we've been noticing lately?
Yes.
Yes.
I 100%. Yes.
Yeah, like the fact that they're getting into a gala at Trump's estate.
Right.
Man.
And it's not even just the heads, like the costumes they're wearing in general. Like, I wonder how much that even costs to be period correct. Yeah. And some of these guys, come on, they probably were actually furries. How can you not be going to an event like this and not doing research, right?
I
Right.
believe
Maybe
I have
maybe
met
there might
a
just
few
be
people that
furries
cross
who
those
are,
lines. Yeah,
working for Team Trump.
Yeah.
it probably is actually.
Exactly. And of course, you have to be obligated to say this line here. We're gonna make America furry again.
Yes,
Malfa, let's go.
MAFA, make America furry again. MAFA.
All right, no.
Hey, we do love our fuzzy animals. I'll say that.
And of course, hey, celebrate our hero dogs. They're just as good as police officers and service members in our military as any other human combatant. Or, yeah.
All right.
So they deserve
So-
some recognition too.
So, on the flip side of the coin, we do end up having to talk about furry conventions that are actually happening as we speak. The less significant ones. Well, I'm talking about Further Confusion and for New England, which, of course, will never hold a candle to the AHS party. Why? Because, and not just because it's it's a AHS is actually a dignified party. Further Confusion 2026 has made some very, very interesting decisions. We've had their rules and all that. And to start with, the attendees there are they are complaining about a couple of things here, especially in light of what the hotel has chosen to do.
So, confuzzled, right? Where
No,
is this
Further
convention
Confusion.
happening? Oh, I'm sorry, Further
Further
Confusion.
Confusion is happening at San Jose Marriott Hotel, San Jose, California.
Okay.
Yeah. So on and so on. The hotel have basically slipped in this note for all their guests, and to sum it up, they're saying, these are the standards. Your room cannot be used for parties or other activities that would create a noise complaint from other hotel guests or staff. A minimum recovery fee of $250 will be charged to the guest for room damages, smoking, and noise disturbance. so forth. So basically,
No
they're
room
capping.
party? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, they're capping. The ability to do room parties or that if you're going to be, noisy and all of that in the hotel rooms. So
No more than 4 people in a room, and if you violate it, you get fined. Are they flipping serious?
it's not the cons policy that have done this though; it's the hotels.
The
Oh,
hotels
so
are
then
changing in
forget
their
the hotel then
community
move.
now. Yes, I've noticed that too.
No, get rid of the hotel. I'm sorry, what was that?
Anyone who's followed the sort of like furry drama over the years with what happens at actual locations, yeah, they're either second guessing themselves or they're definitely going to start stamping down on this. I do question though whether or not if a room's booked to have like 5 or 6 people, whether or not that's still allowed.
Oh yeah, it would be like if it's like a suite or something, or like one of the presidential rooms that could have up to 6 or 8 people. Sure, that's like the cap. They're talking about main rooms, like the basic blocks people get. If it's like a 2-bed situation, 4 people in a room, if you have 9 or 10 people in there because you're hosting a room party, that's I think where they would draw the line and be like, you can't be doing this. That's what it seems like from what the Marriott's saying.
It's also possible that when they have to negotiate the room blocks with the Marriott, their insurance is looking over their back and saying, yeah, we know those type. We can cover you, but these are the exceptions to the rule that are too common because they have to sometimes pay out for damages and repair and work after the aftermath of the party. Sometimes they have to tear up the room and rebuild the room to a certain degree if there's enough damages after the party from water damage and things like that. So that's the reason why they're doing that now, is that they're tightening down on things that cost them
Not to
money.
mention, if they're sharing event space with other attendees and that, then things could get a bit dicey.
Well,
that was
that's a
always
good point.
the thing,
You
but
said,
it's
Drake.
generally insurances were usually what
Yeah.
usually handles a lot of that stuff. Policy.
Right, like
And if
liability
they're
response.
incorporating room blocks, the fact that the Marriott or whatever hotel is operating with these conventions is they have specific room blocks for this event specifically. So they can perhaps imply their own rules upon them and be like, hey, you can't be doing this and this and that. And they're going to be cracking down on that. Hopefully not, but it seems like that's what they're implying
that's
here.
the thing that gets me, is because the room block, depending if it's the same event or multiple events going on, doesn't always mean a block in the hallway. It just means a block of rooms that are set aside for the event and the partner.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Most of the time, it does pertain to like certain floors and stuff that are specifically rented out if they have space for it.
Yeah. If it's
But
in
yeah,
their
you're right.
contract.
Like there's all over the place.
What I am finding odd, and I brought this up early on the side earlier, is like Confuzzle doesn't allow you to buy room block. Do you have to buy through the con registration? So, which tells me that one way they're trying to mitigate, maybe cons are mitigating, is that they have enough budget to literally buy out ahead of time from their vendor, which is the hotel, and arrange that ahead of time, so that way they know exactly who's going to get what room.
Yeah, and the idea behind it is that it's supposed to be cheaper. Like, because you're a part of the event, you have certain privileges when it comes to the hotel and the space itself. For example, like free parking. Like, oh, if you're a part of this event, then you get like a parking pass or something. Some conventions have done that. For Apocalypse did. But if you just want to apply as a regular guest, then you don't have those privileges. Or it might cost more to stay at the event for the same amount of time as, for example, the rooms that are set aside for the block. But I'm wondering if it might just be more reasonable to just apply as a regular guest anyway, if you don't want to deal with the bullshit stuff.
That's what I did on and off.
Here's the thing. It's just, I don't know. It's just basically the way that they've done this, and for the period of the event, it's the hotel's decision. But now we have another list of things that that furries have taken grievance against the hotel. Here's the next one that I've got to share with you.
Okay.
That we're going to have a look at. Here it is. Just 1 second. Let me get this out for you. Okay. So somebody has complained about the costume rule here. Costumes,
see that
clothing,
one.
behavior, and safety. This is the official Further Confusion Code of Conduct.
Okay.
Someone
Well,
actually
because we were-
faxed one of that in the furry tail chat. I saw the fax come up earlier.
Right, like let's read this thing here. Show off your costume work. Costumes of all designs and materials are welcome, provided that they are displayed in a manner appropriate for all ages. We ask that you keep attire reasonably inoffensive. As a rule, no quote unquote anatomically correct costume may be shown in public areas.
Okay, just stop for a sec. Is this a all year type event? So, say for instance, kids could show up, or is this more like 18 plus private
I
sort
don't
of
think
thing?
Further Confusion is 18 plus in their terms of service or code of conduct or whatever have you. Like Megaplex, there are cons like Megaplex that are, but no.
Some fursuits are anatomically correct, like just between the legs, they do have genitalia that is crafted on fabric and stuff, and it looks real. So, for the very
Oh,
rare
wow.
few that actually have those kind of costumes, I don't think that they would go about in public with that unless they're just perverts in general.
Because here's the next part, though. Collars, leashes, and sled dog-like harnesses may be worn either with costumes or discreetly with your normal street clothing. Overt and blatant displays of bondage / BDSM may result in you being asked to leave public convention space.
I think
Wait,
it's
so
the
they're saying
public
that's
space. That's why. And they specifically worded it with the word public, which means that you can walk through it or whatever. But
Yeah,
if it was
because
truly
again, at the
18
end of the day,
yeah.
the hotel is, it is a shared space.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
in
so
between
it
the
seems like
premises.
it seems like they're contradicting themselves. Can we just reread that? It says, "Show off your costume work." It says that all designs are welcome except for, and then they list some of these things anatomically correct.
Right,
So collars and leashes are also off
provided that they
limits,
are
or
displayed
no?
in a manner appropriate for all ages. We ask
Okay.
that you attire reasonably
I
inoffensive.
technically, I would question collars as long as they weren't. I'm going to have to use the words flamboyant
Okay.
style.
So like a
Mr.
collar that
Slave.
you're just wearing it, and it has LEDs on it, and it's all spiky and it's flashy. What do you mean collar? Like is that not a? I think collars are fine, so long as it's not on
No.
a leash and you're walking on all fours in front of kids. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, as long as it's more stylistic towards the actual fursuit itself, fine. But if it's more meant to be a prop, in quotations.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of collars, so maybe I'm biased, but I think they're cute. So.
So let's read the other paragraph here. Further Confusion and our partner hotels want to ensure a safe and comfortable environment for everyone on the premises. As a reminder, disruptive noise, loud music, excessive visitors in your room, and activities deemed a public nuisance are not tolerated by our hotel partners. So, what's wrong with all of this? With the code of conduct regarding costumes and all of that, and egregious behavior? Here's what this furry has to say. This person says, blah says, I'm willing to assume this is the hotels, not the con. But banning non-family friendly outfits is gross. Fur cons are our community space to be as weird as we want. F shame, F make everyone feel comfortable, and F conservative Christian con values. This is completely unacceptable.
I wonder how that person would. No, okay, I have to ask this, but I wonder how this person would feel if someone was walking around with a Raider armband on.
Yeah, right? Can you imagine? Free speech, right? No, I don't think so. They'd probably throw a drink at us. So this person I agree with up until that last sentence about how they think it's conservative Christian values that are somehow impeding upon their freedom. No, that's not what's happening here. I think it's the hotel being, we don't want to dissuade our guests, our normal people who are not used to this kind of stuff. And they don't want to lose business.
Yeah,
that's
we're
from a
okay,
perspective, that's probably what they're thinking.
I have to slap this on to what Avira said, but try going to a country that's Muslim, try going to the capital city that's Muslim, and try wearing furry BDSM around and start acting like complete dipshits in the middle of the city.
Yeah,
I mean,
good luck.
you're gonna get a few rocks thrown at you at least.
Yeah, that's the nice stuff. If they throw rocks at you.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Yikes.
Yeah, I've been around the circuits to understand, and even before furry took off around the 2020 era, and I got my little reputation. I was around doing the circuits, and I used to wear my tail everywhere. And some of my friends in the paranormal community is like, "What are you doing wearing a tail like in the middle, in the south area region of town, or in the middle of the land of the Ozarks, which is out in the area?" I drove out there one time with investigators, and we had a little dance, and I just popped my tail on, just started dancing around. The guy started looking at it. What's with the tail?
Nice.
So yeah. Hey, the tail was one of the best tail that was also used for ghost hunting too. It's got sensors on it. So crazy
There we
stuff.
go. I guess at the end of the day, this person is just basically upset that that the event space just doesn't let him wear all his fetish gear out in the open.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what?
there's
I hate
definitely
to
a
say
place
it's tough.
for that stuff.
If the hotel pretty much
I mean, like
complained
at
about it,
conventions.
yeah, you're just going to have to tone it down for a little bit in order. You could probably still do some stuff privately and private parties and things like that, but it's supposed to be an open convention, from what I understand. So
Yeah, it's as I understand it,
That's
they've
where
even got
exactly I was going with that. About like how there's definitely a place and a time for it, like for private parties and stuff.
mhm.
Like we've all seen the images of people walking around in diapers and stuff at MFF. Like, come on, like have some self dignity there or something.
Vera,
Yeah.
I've seen, unfortunately, baby fur comics with people sneaking into clubs and then ripping their pants off to expose their diapers and then getting kicked out. It's like they're doing it because they like to, and that's the
Well,
part
yeah.
that just. Ugh.
That's that exhibitionism stuff. No, what I'm saying is though, I think that not the Hilton, the Marriott, this hotel is. They don't want to lose business due to crazy degenerate activity, which furries often do. But we do keep that to our own room parties and private stuff for the most part. Yeah, I
That's
kind of get
why
it.
they
Unless we rent out an entire hotel like by ourselves and just have the entire convention space to ourselves, then the rules would be a little bit more lax because we can kind of just do whatever, and it's not affecting other
Exactly.
guests in
And
whatever
that
way.
brings up what you mentioned earlier as the extreme example, that hotels do
Right.
have a time and a place for really crazy lowbrow type stuff that they have to kind of ignore because it's not really public and it's not really big. And they'll host it because they'll take the money and profits from it. Obviously, they need
Yep.
customers, but they just don't want to turn this one into that event. That's why they publish a lot of that stuff.
You're
If
right. And
if it goes that far.
again, to use like another extreme example, there are other adult themed events out there, bondage conventions, for example, that do exist, and
They're
hotels
fun.
do host them, and they understand what they're hosting and do that. With furry, it's kind of not in that area. I mean, it's not supposed to be an explicitly sexual event. It's because it's not. It's just furries, people dressing up as animals, but sometimes people get a little bit too extreme and then they do stuff that makes it look bad, and they don't want to run that risk. So I get where they're coming from like a corporate like business perspective. That kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah. All right, we got a live question here. Let's check at it again. Could one argue that a mythical species could never be quote unquote anatomically correct, no matter which details are included?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anthropomorphic dragons aren't real. Dragons aren't real either. But we
Yeah, I
all know
don't
that.
even know where would you have those parts. Some people said it's under a scale, and I'm kind of lost, honestly. That's why I gave up. It's just mythical.
Or would like a sexy wolf girl have 6 nipples or 2 human breasts? Like, which one? It all depends
Right.
on how the artist
Yeah, and
chooses
how
to
you
draw it.
choose to do your depictions exactly.
Yeah, how you want to express your persona. I don't know. However you want.
And you got to keep in mind, I'll just put it out there, when it comes to fantasy, this is all fantasy, because even people in the Playboy community, they love those magazines and those things, but it's just art at the end of the day, and whatever floats your boat and makes your mind happy, and as long as you're not harming anyone, it should be who to complain. See?
Okay, so one last thing before we round this topic off. Here's the next complaint about further confusion. Here we go. Further confusion. This is what they tweeted. Blue skied, I should say. For the safety and comfort of all our dealers, masks will be mandatory in both the dealer's den and the adult dealer's den. Please ensure you have a mask ready. Yeah, we're doing this again. We're doing the whole face mask thing again.
Well,
and it's
don't forget.
2026. Go ahead, Noble.
Don't forget that some people like to spit when they talk.
Yeah.
Ew, sometimes.
I mean, we are like, 5 years past the whole COVID crisis. Well, 5, 6. And
Crisis.
4.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
22 was the last. It was supposed to go downhill from there.
Yeah, and then there are some people that are still just unironically doing it.
Yeah, I don't get this mask thing anymore. I mean, okay, I'll wear a cute dirt mask.
Everybody, after 2022, everybody pretty much did away with it.
It's fun to see some of the BDSM guys wear their rubber mask out in public, because they go like, well, you said to wear a mask. This is the thing that isolates me from the environment. That's the best.
Yes, the loophole. That's a good excuse.
That's exactly what it is too. Like with the whole, your fursuit, it's the same thing. So, anyway, aside from all of that, further confusion is shaping up to be one of the conventions of all time.
One of them.
Yeah, they're getting kind of big. Them and Megaplex. Megaplex is also growing too. So I was there last fall.
Yeah.
Have they seen a significant increase from like the year before to when you last went?
Yes. The amount of people there more than doubled, but that was 4 years ago. From what I'm seeing, yeah, they are growing, which is why they got a bigger convention space. Even though next door is the Orlando Convention Center, which is huge, by the way, from what I saw. So it's only a matter of time. If they keep in their direction they're going, they're going to end up like not as big as Comic-Con, but who knows?
So, with that said, we're going to wrap up this whole con bubble, and regardless of whichever con you go to, I do want to just leave it at that. I hope you do have fun regardless.
Yeah,
if you're at said event spaces.
We didn't really talk about A&E too much. That's the one going on the opposite side.
I suppose I haven't really heard that much about it. Although if given by the if we're playing by the numbers and all of that, I'm sure something big is about to,
Well, it's still in Boston. At the same time that the California convention is going on, A&E is happening right now in Boston.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends that are there, and hope they're having a good time. So if you guys are listening, tuning in, or if you catch the episode later, hope you had a blast at A&E. I think I've been to A&E like 4 times, three or 4 times.
It was probably years ago.
Fun. Oh yeah, before COVID, but it was fun. I like
was a regular.
This is before when they transferred their charity to like from Vestadog to something else to promote the whole LGBTQWXYZ rainbow cult thing. So didn't really like that switch. I think that was the last year I went.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I suppose it is just what it is, though. So now we're going to move on, and we've got another item for you. Well, Pokemon is at it again with the with its antics, and this time, you know what they've done? They're releasing a whole line of Lego toys with the Pokemon branding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool crossover.
Oh yeah. Okay, here's the If you haven't watched it yet, we are, and I know you haven't, but
The
here
Gem
is the
Pokemon
announcement
Master.
trailer.
Yeah. South Park.
In a world of taxes, instead of gym badges, one
Oh,
trainer
no.
is about
You
to
wanna see this?
remember who he really is.
It is official. Our reports confirm that Lego Pokemon creatures are finally here and have started appearing around the world. More on this as the story develops, so please stay tuned.
Blastoise, Venusaur, Pikachu. No way.
Crazy, right?
Your time has come, and Destiny doesn't care about lower back pain.
That guy is so me right now.
Welcome to the Lego Pokemon world.
Ethan, what's going on?
We're gonna catch and build them all.
Join the scavenger hunt at lego.com.
Hey, they are tailoring to the correct market because a lot of them have grown up into adults.
In a
It-
world of
Is a terrible ad. Not to mention some
I'm
of them
just
look like utter
laughing
shit.
on the floor.
There are some ways that I cringed at it too, and you know what? Pokemon has been so far behind the times in catering to the adult fans that grew up with the franchise. Bro, like
Yeah,
you
you
look
think
at
I
so,
like,
'cause
who are
I
the
grew
they're
up with the
trying to
franchise
cater.
too as well. So I've been around that sort of circuit around seeing the Pokemon Go with the app. People were like doing that and some Pokemon themed fursuiters too at the time. So
Oh yeah, I've seen some Pokemon first theaters, but they're trying to cater to us, like millennials, right? The people that grew up on Pokemon, Saturday
Yeah.
morning cartoons, watching Ash and Misty and Brock, go through their tribulations and trials and catch them all. It was a good time back in the day, decades ago. God, goodness, I feel old. But
And
yeah,
now
I don't know if they're
they're
trying to
marketing
capture that,
to
right?
us in the form of Lego toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of Pokemon. And it's
Lego, I
crazy,
think, is
you know?
timeless. Like, of course.
Here's the crazy thing where all this dissonance is coming from. Like Pokemon's games are largely, what are they? Marketed for children. All
Yeah.
this other stuff, right? Yeah. And then now they're basically building the whole Lego toys as marketed for adults. What gives?
Well, that and some other Pokemon stuff, like Detective Pikachu, was definitely geared towards millennial fans. And of course, younger kids that are into Pokemon, but they also wanted to tap into additional markets, which totally makes sense.
Right. Here's what I don't get. If Pokemon, wanted to cater to their whole thing and do it right, they would have done this friggin' at least a decade ago and a half. Meanwhile, you've got friggin', other franchises like Digimon who knew how to cater to the fans that grew up with the franchise from the 90s and did it in such an organic way. None of this whole, commercials that are tailored for grown-up sort of thing. Digimon, at least, their plot lines basically matured over time.
They could have really turned around and just had a parent who grew up with Pokemon buying one of the models to give to their kid.
Right.
Kind of like that wholesome Japanese McDonald's ad that
Yeah.
basically Twitter decided to blow up over because how can you have a family?
Right, exactly. That's the other angle you're looking at too. And of course, here's the next thing from Hershaku. They realize that Zoomers and Gen Alpha have no money.
I was about to say that. That's pretty correct, actually.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So it's like now the millennials and Gen X are the ones that are basically, being Pokemon's cash cows. And might I add, it is apt because let's have a look at the let's have a look at the Lego website and the product listing. This is the this showing Lego shop at the Lego Pokemon, everyone.
So Pikachu just looks weird.
Right.
It really does.
Yeah, he kind of does. A lot of these, I thought when it came to Lego Pokemon, this would be something. If this is for
More Lego.
a collector's item, the Charizard and the Bulbasaur and Venusaur and the other ones, they look pretty cool in that one.
Yeah.
I imagine that would be a pretty complicated build.
Yeah, it looks like it. I did remember seeing some Lego artists in my time, so.
But yeah, well, Lego artists, yeah, definitely give them some credit. The Eevee looks kind of fake. Did they just make new Lego parts and put stickers like for the eyes? I mean, what's going on there? I feel
That's
like it
going to
could
be
be
my
bigger.
assumption. These are all custom.
I would think that these are all, bespoke, given the amount of curved pieces that needed to all fit in and what have you.
I'm sorry, but I would have preferred to have had normal Lego sets with just like little tiny Pokemon figurines, like a little Eevee figurine, a little Pikachu, and maybe pick like half a dozen others that most people seem to drool over. I mean, go look at E621 and mark out the top 10 Pokemon that are on there. Gardevoir, for crying out loud.
Right, and here's where this is all crazy too. Like, let's have a read. What they're their whole advertising to adults. Lego, these highly detailed Lego Pokemon display pieces will make perfect nostalgic gifts for adults, gaming fans, and anyone who's ever dreamed of being a Pokemon trainer. And on their product listing, it says 18 plus with a birthday cake. So this is a product intended for adults. But look at the price tag on this.
Hey, that's well, being in the pool toy / inflatable community, there are some adults that are willing to spend pretty good money to get what they want.
I'm looking at the first one with Charizard and Venusaur and Blastoise, and this looks pretty cool. But for $1,000, no. Like, cut that price by a margin. Okay, maybe $99. Like, that's acceptable for something of that complexity, but not too crazy.
$99 to around $100, maybe around the sub $200 is more of the kids and mature adult range, from what I'm understanding, is the targeted audience. But the collector's audience, you can throw something that's a one-time deal, and they'll just snatch it right up.
And even as someone who has delved into that myself, I wouldn't say that the Eevee, I think that's going to not sell very well. The other one, same thing. No one's going to spend $300 on that. Or if they do, then they got ripped off, or they're not firing on all brain cells. The first one looks really cool, but that again, for $1,000, come on, what a scam!
Right, like this is mind you Australian pricing. So in the US, in Freedom Bucks, they would probably charge what, about 200 Freedom Bucks for the Pikachu Lego.
Oh, Freedom Bucks.
Yes,
yeah,
and
it's not that different, but yeah, it would be lower, I guess.
Yeah,
for Pikachu, though.
But dude, I mean, we all know Pokemon is getting really, really bad and egregious with just how commercialized it is right now. Like, you've got, I mean, to add to the list of problems, I mean, this is already adding fuel to the fire. But you've already got, people, throwing hands trying to buy Pokemon cards because of lack of supply and stuff.
No, they're scalping them.
Yes.
I swear, Joel, if you want to have a kicker of an afternoon, go look up Pokemon scalpers versus fathers with a child. I mean, shit, half the time I want to see the father turn around and smack the shit out of the scalper. No, seriously. Why isn't there any footage? Why aren't scalpers turning around, seeing a kid walk up and go, "Oh yeah, here, take one box," instead of turning around and saying, "No, mine, fuck off, little shit."
Good point. Not sure.
Yeah.
Seriously, why do you have to be so fucking selfish? It's a kid. Give him a box. You haven't paid for it yet. Mind you, these are all videos coming from inside the shop, and I'm not referring to the ones where you see them doing, fucking around at the vending machines. I mean, shit. Vending machine ones are priceless.
I'm glad I came from a family where I never really asked my family to get me those really nice toys. I actually just made my own toys. Waited people throw their stuff out.
Well,
Groovy.
now to add to, of course, the other part of Pokemon's problems, is the quality of the games, the pricing, and the pricing of the Legos and the cards. Yeah, it all adds up. But you know what? To speak of Pokemon cards, I think we have another solution to that, actually. And you know what? And you know who's going to create their own card game?
Oh, well?
Uh-oh.
Yes. It's Pokemon's #1 nemesis, Pal World.
Oh.
No, really? They're making their own CCG?
Yep. Pal World official
Okay.
card game on sale July 30, 2026.
Okay. Well, that's something to... Did not expect that. That's interesting.
Really? We brought this up before on the podcast.
I mean, we have
yeah,
been
but I didn't
talking
think it would be
news
real.
about, how Pal World is basically going all in on being a big umbrella universe with,
Avira?
Yeah, I thought
Sony
we didn't
is
get
backing-
the physical limitations, though. Remember?
Oh, don't worry. I'm not worried. Look, as someone who's played the game, I think they know how to translate the gameplay into paper card form. Trust them on it.
Sony is backing Pal World. So a card game isn't going to be that difficult. I mean, look isn't Sony also backing Digimon or something? Or is it primarily
Digimon's
on
just
that
doing
platform?
their own thing,
Oh, hang on, no, wait, they're also on Nintendo.
But here's the thing, though. Now they're basically flanked with all sides. The Digimon card game is growing, and they got another expansion on the way. And Pal World is, dude, they're going all in with the whole big umbrella thing. Animations, merch, this. You know what? If you can't get your hands on the Pokemon cards, consider waiting for Pal World or even buying some Digimon cards.
Someone wrote down Nintendo files a lawsuit claiming they own copyright to the card. That might be for the art, but not for the utility.
No. Nintendo would probably basically write up the lawsuit saying that they patent the very idea of trading cards.
They have to own the patent
This
to
is
do
where
that. Yeah.
this is where it seems backwards to me, because I'm a longtime Magic player, like Magic the Gathering, since I've been 12. So I don't think that a company going to create like a card game based on originally starting from digital is going to be more successful. Because that's the total opposite of what Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, all these things happened. They started with a card game, and then once the internet boom happened, then they graduated towards online gaming. It's never been the opposite way around. So,
well,
see
you've
how
got
that
TV shows
progresses.
like, for instance, Power Rangers had their own card game, I think once.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, and I used to buy a couple of their stuff, merch, when I was younger. Power Rangers. I like the dinos.
But yeah, like it seems kind of backwards, especially in like the modern age of how it's progressing. Like they didn't start with a card game and then made their digital appearance. Like they started with that first. So I don't know if the card game is going to be successful, if it's going to be more collectible than anything, or if people are going to be really into, actually playing the game. If it's fun, like if it's good and people like it, then sure, it's going to take off. I mean, who knows?
Well, right now we're basically in. I would argue that right now we are basically in a big boom or bubble period in the card game sector. You know,
Mhm.
and it's not just Pokemon, Digimon, and Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that have their own card games, but there's a lot of other like little independent other little card games too, and other animes like One Piece, and that have their own card game as well. So the market's saturated. It's like the next big thing.
Yeah, either that or they're just trying to ride the coattails of Magic the Gathering, the most successful
No,
card
no,
game in
no.
history.
Power?
I
No,
don't know.
they're not doing that. They've got the they got the thing to do it. They're doing their own thing. They don't need what the thing over they don't need to see what Magic is doing to succeed. Powell's has already succeeded off the back of its own thingo and the love of its fans.
Well, yeah, that would be a organic development. So cool.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Pokemon and Nintendo are basically the ones salty because their case against Powell and all that didn't go the way they planned it.
Yeah, I heard.
Well, things
Yeah, that's
kind of
true.
fuck up when look, things screw up when you turn around and decide to change your patent during a lawsuit.
Oops.
Yeah, little shady right there, I would say. Yikes!
Oh, you go watch Judge Judy. Any time you get a segment where someone turns around and decides to change what they're saying halfway through, a case, she gets pissy.
Oh, definitely.
And she's still
Like,
around too.
What are you saying? She is. Yeah, she's still around.
Yeah. I think there's been at least a few furs that have been on her show.
All right, so just I would say that at this point this is time to wrap this up. That's all the time we got for this. What a crazy week it's been.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Like, so who'd like to proudly close this week up with a closing statement? Short and sweet.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll go first. As I mentioned, guys, we're only about 2 weeks or so into the new year, and it seems like it's been several months of all kinds of totally bonkers nonsense going on. My goodness, every day is something new, and it's crazy. When it comes to the AHS and their royal gala of their doggo celebration, or hero dogs rather, I'm glad that they were able to, give recognition to those doggos who serve in the police and the military. That's very important. And if I were there, I'm so jealous I wasn't there, but if I was, I would have been Duke Candy Corn Doggo the Second. Mm-hmm.
With
It would
a
have
pipe?
been, indeed, yes, a pipe and a monocle, all of that. It would have been very prestigious. So that was wild. I've never expected to see something like that happen at Mar-a-Lago. So that's cool. In regards to hotels and their policies towards furry conventions, you have to have a good relationship with the hotel that you're trying to have trying to have an event with. When I was helping to run Free for All, that's what we did. The place we chose, they did not have negative experiences with furries in the past, and they knew that we were, pro police and stuff, and it was pretty good. A stronger vetting process than usual. And a lot of these big companies, they don't want to have their property destroyed by reckless idiots who, do stuff like that. We've seen this constantly at FurCons in the past that unfortunately destroy property. So we don't want to see any more of that. I get where they're coming from, but at the end of the day, FurCons, if you really truly want to just be yourself and have fun, wear your collar and your harness and go crazy. Go to room parties that allow you to have more than 4 people without getting fined, because that's bonkers. That's stupid. I don't know why they even did that. Well, I do, but whatever. Point is, find a good hotel you can work with, all right? That's cool with you. But also, furries, don't make yourself a bad representation of the fandom. Don't destroy crap, all right? Like, be cool. Just be cool. And aside from that, I do have my bingo card for 2026. I'm going to show you guys this later on. Not in this video, but eventually. I did not expect this stuff to be happening. I just hope everyone's having a good time so far, and that's all I gotta say for now. Arr!
Hello. Well, it's only been 2 weeks of this year. It's been a blast of hearing stuff going on. It's probably going to be a busy year. Last year was kind of I've been out traveling a bit, so missed a few things, but I caught a few things. So this year was, as far as I'm hearing, with a lot of financials and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure a lot of places are toning down for safety because they don't want to cut too many losses and accidents and mishaps that go on in places. But since the last 18 months have been really different, this first beginning of the year has been interesting. I think there's a lot of new things on the horizon that I'll hopefully pop in and chat about down the road. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it.
All right. Sounds good. Noble.
I honestly can't wait to see what happens in the next couple of months.
True.
No, we've got to have some sort of furrycon that crocks up and then some massive drama sort of fest hits, because unfortunately you've got people who can't clean up after their service animal or their pet, and then there's the generic cringy furry going out and doing something that's just going to set the fandom back maybe about another decade.
Oh,
But that's
well,
my low hope on humanity, so yeah, I'm done.
All right, then. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did making the show. As always, you can find our episode on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. Well, to close off on this crazy, crazy week, farewell, and until next time.
Bye.
Later.